Good day. By now you've heard from Mrs. Kemp about my flipped classroom and how I use videos in my classroom, which is what you will be doing throughout the time that I am gone with Mrs. Kemp. The purpose of this video today is simply for you to experience what it's like to go to Google Classroom, find the video, watch the video, complete the guided notes, and then in a normal situation, come to class the next day and discuss the video. And by the video, I mean the new material that you are learning throughout the video. Today's video, however, is just simply getting to know me, which is perfect because while I am gone, I think it's great that you're getting to know me, and I am eager to get to know all of you some more. So, we have our first example, which is just a little bit about me as far as my background goes. So, we call these guided notes because you are taking notes as well as I and listening to me throughout the video. I'm from a small town north of here, and kudos to you if you know where this is at. This town is called Radcliffe. This is where my husband and I live. It is a very, very, very small town. In fact, those of you that know Gilbert, this town is probably smaller than Gilbert, so very, very small. When I was growing up, I went to a very small school. My school was called Alden. It was in the town of Alden. Oops, I shouldn't write very. I need to write small, because that's what I went to, was a very small school. So I went to a small school. Unlike here in Ames, I would say this is a very large school. My school was so small that there were only 13 students in my class. We went to classes together. We sat at one lunch table together. We were a very small, close-knit group of kids. And in fact, my class was so small, or my school was so small, that my sophomore year of high school, so that's 10th grade, my school closed down and I had to join another school. So all of us that were from Alden had to join another school, and I went from 13 students in my class to about 80 students in my class, which to me, that was pretty traumatic because that's a big difference. Here, that would be nothing. Back to Radcliffe, my husband and I, my husband's name is Dan. We live on a farm outside of Radcliffe, so I live out in the country, and we raise pigs, woohoo! And we also have 2 children. My son Denver is 6, and he's in 1st grade. And Memphis is 2 and thinks she's 14. She's very sassy and full of lots of energy. And then obviously, the reason why I am gone is because we now have another one, which, just FYI, I will be coming in someday so you guys can meet the baby. So, second example, a little bit about me in terms of teaching. Cool thing, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher from the time that I was in 2nd grade. My 1st grade teacher that I had was by far one of my favorite teachers, and I think it was having her as a teacher when I was in 1st grade that made me want to be a teacher. I did, however, always want to be an elementary teacher, and it wasn't until I was in it wasn't until I was in college that I realized that I wanted to be a middle schooler, because truth is, I think I'm a middle schooler at heart. This year is my 5th year of teaching. Crazy how it has gone by so fast. What's also crazy is as I'm looking at your names as to who is in my class for each class period, I've had a lot of your siblings, and that's just so cool to see. One of the reasons about my flipped classroom, is kind of why I did it, was I really just wanted to simply have more class time with you, because my role as your teacher is to not just teach the new material to you, but to really ensure that you are understanding it. And actually, another fun fact, kind of crazy, when I was in middle school, again, at this very small school, I hated math. Like, I truly use that word by its definition to describe how I felt about math. I did not have a great teacher for math, and I unfortunately had that same teacher for 7th grade and for 8th grade. Wasn't a good thing. So now you've gotten a little bit of background about me, kind of getting to know me a little bit. I can't wait to come in and actually meet you. What I would like you to do now is to complete the Your Turn on Your Own, which again, in the new videos that you will be having, the Your Turn on Your Own are questions pertaining to the new math concepts. And the purpose is to simply just answer the question and try your best. So when it's math related, the expectation is not for you to get it 100%. It's just for you to try what you have heard and are beginning to process, and then bring that back to class the next day, where then myself or Mrs. Kemp will look at that and we will begin working you through the journey of understanding it to its entirety. So try these 3 questions, and then you can talk with Mrs. Kemp about them. And I look forward to meeting you and coming back to school soon.